And
And your school mascot.
what is your...
Oh, that's a
Go ahead.
great question. Our school colors and our mascot. Let me actually take you on a little tour of our visitor center, and I'll show you what our mascot looks like. Our school colors are burnt orange and white, and our school mascot is a longhorn, and this is him right here. His name is Kyle. So he's a big longhorn, and that's what we mean. See his big horns?
Look at how big they are.
Oh my God.
He's really friendly, but he is the longhorn, and this is kind of what our symbol looks like. Seems neat, huh?
Yeah, there it is right there, right?
Very nice, exactly.
All right. So ask the next one, Ron.
How many?
No, how good. Number 3. No, number 3.
How did that become your mascot?
So how did the Longhorn become your mascot?
That is a really good question. I don't know if y'all were able to see it, but our very first mascot was actually a dog. And he was just a dog that liked to hang out and get pets and go to people's classes. So that was pretty cool. But then they decided that we needed a new mascot. So back in the early, late 1800s, it was a long time ago, a bunch of our students got together and each one of them paid $20 and they bought a longhorn. So down here in Texas, there's a lot of ranchers. There's a lot of cows that live all over the pastures. There used to be cows that wandered all over our campus a long time ago. So they thought a longhorn would be a good representation of what it's like to be a Texan. And that's how we got the longhorn mascot.
Excellent. Now, Latrell, you were going to ask something about the Longhorn. Is there actually a live one on campus?
There's not a live one on campus. His name is Bevo, but he comes to all of our football games, and he gets to hang out at really special events, and he lives on a really nice ranch. So he has basically a big backyard where he just gets to hang out and eat grass.
Ah, lucky him. Go ahead, Rob.
How many students attend your school?
How many students?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have about 50,000 students that go to UT. I know, it's so many. It's crazy. How many students go to your school?
About 350.
Can you imagine? Sometimes some of our classes have 350 students in them. One classroom.
Yeah. I'd say your school's about 5 times the size of our town. So it's our town's about 10,000 residents in our town. We're very small, about 1 square mile. So the University of Texas is about 5 times as many people that live in Keansburg.
It's really big. But it's really neat because you get to meet so many different students. We have students from all 50 states and over 100 different countries that come to UT Austin. So we definitely have some students from New Jersey that come out here.
Cool. Go ahead, Latrell.
How big are your
So I know you said some of them are very big, but how big are your class sizes at University of Texas?
Yeah, they're going to range in size. So how many students are in your classroom every day?
You have 17? 17.
17? You might expect to find 17 students in some of your more upper division classes. The smallest class I ever took only had 8 students in it, and that was really small. But I also had some classes with 30 students, 100 students, or like I said, 300 students. The largest class that we have has 500 students in it.
That's
and
like,
it's usually... Oh,
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, that's like when you guys go to the movie theater and you sit in those big movie theaters, like with the seats that go up like that. A lot of times classes at college look like that. I mean, not as comfortable of chairs, but they look similar to that.
It's true. Yeah.
But the chairs at the movie theater go up and down.
Yep, they do. Sometimes your seats like that will be like that at college too. You'll actually have those rows that get higher and higher as you go up to the back of the classroom.
That's right.
Go ahead, Latrell.
How far is your school from Kingsburg, Virginia?
How far is our school from your hometown?
Yep, in Keansburg. Yep.
I just looked this up today, and you guys are going to be surprised. We have, let's see, 1,742 miles between us. And you have to pass through 6 different states to get there. It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Have any of you ever been to Texas?
Has anyone ever been to Texas? Have you really?
No. Nice.
Cool.
Where'd you go?
Where did you go?
The store.
Do you have family who live in Texas?
No, we just have
Oh, cool. Very cool. Now, I would say that's probably a good 20-hour, 25-hour drive if you were going to drive there. But is there an airport if the students from New Jersey wanted to come to the University of Texas?
Oh, yes, definitely. We have an airport. It's called Austin Bergstrom International Airport. And if you wanted to fly to and from, you could get there probably in about 4 or 5 hours by plane. So it's definitely a lot faster than driving.
Absolutely. Good. Go ahead, Latrell.
What
What types of things are there to do on the Texas campus and then around in the city of Austin?
That is a great question. So what we do on campus is, besides just going to class, students study, they read, they like to work out. We have a really big gym. We actually have a couple gyms where you can work out. So students go swimming, they go rock climbing in our rock climbing walls. Students play lots of sports. Do any of y'all play sports?
Does anyone play sports here? Who plays sports? Latrell, what do you play? Football, yep. Rob? Baseball, basketball, and soccer. So you got a wide variety right there.
Yeah, and we have all of those sports to play for fun at UT as well. So if you wanted to play on a team, you could do that. We have different clubs and organizations. So students will join clubs based on if they like politics, if they're involved in a different religious organization. Sometimes they just really love doing different sports, or maybe they want to start something fun for them and their friends. Any of you ever read Harry Potter?
Or seen the movies?
Yeah.
Anybody seen the Harry Potter? Yep.
We have a Quidditch team here at our school. Can you believe it?
Do you guys know what Quidditch is? What's the? Do you know the game? What Harry Potter plays when he's at school? Do you know where they ride around on the what? Yeah, that's Quidditch, and they actually have a Quidditch team at Texas.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so fun. But also there's a lot of fun things to do in Austin. Where we live, it's really warm. It's warm all the time. So we are out there. We like to go swimming. We go canoeing. People are paddling. So there's lots to do outside. We play in the park. But it never really gets that cold. It almost never snows here. So we have a lot of fun spending time outside. And we like to see music. Austin Stone is the live music capital of the world. So we're always going to concerts and shows and having lots of fun.
Excellent. You want to tell her what it's doing here right now? Tell her.
It's snowing.
It's snowing here right now.
Ah, that's crazy. Do you guys get lots of snow all the time?
Not really.
Yeah, probably we get in the wintertime about one good snowstorm a month.
Oh, I was in New York a couple weeks ago and it was snowing and I was scared because this Texan doesn't know what snow's like.
Go ahead, Latrell.
What do most students do on the weekends?
So being that chances are we wouldn't be going home on the weekends, what do most students at the University of Texas do on the weekends?
That's a great question. And so, like I said, some of our students, they'll participate in these different sports. A lot of our students live on campus. We have one residence hall that holds 3,000 students here at UT Austin. So that's a lot of people living in one building all together. But you get to know a lot of people. You get to meet a lot of people. So we like to, like I said, go out and play. There's a really big park in Austin called Zilker Park where people throw the Frisbee around. They play with their dogs. They might get together and play some beach volleyball. But we also, like I said, we go swimming a lot. We're out on the lake, and there's lots of really good food here in Austin. So I know personally I like to go out to eat on the weekends.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bad.
Yeah, I bet they have better restaurants than Fridays down in there. Go ahead, Elijah.
What?
types of sports
types of sports are offered at your school?
What types of sports? I know you mentioned some of the big ones, but what other types of sports are there?
Yeah, so you guys all mentioned that you play a sport, and we have a lot of those to offer. When I was a student, I played volleyball, softball, and soccer, but we have flag football, there's swimming, you can go running on a track team or individually. We also, for our NCAA teams, for all the big football players and the things you can watch on TV, obviously we have a big football team. Our volleyball team is really good. We have an awesome baseball team as well. But there's so many different kinds of sports. Do you have rowers where you live?
We don't have a team at our school, but crew is very popular in our area.
Yeah. And crew is not very well known down in Texas, but we do have a really good women's crew team and lots of club teams that you can play on too. So whether it's rugby or lacrosse, those aren't super popular in Texas, but there's a lot of students that come here that want to play those teams, so they participate on a club team in order to play them.
Awesome. Rob, what did you want to ask her if they had there? Do you have wrestling there?
Yes, we have a club wrestling team. So it's not one of the games one of the teams that we have for NCAA player, but we do have something that you can join a club and you just say, I love to wrestle. I'm going to do this for fun on the weekends.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Do you have rivals?
Do you guys have any rivals?
Ooh, that's a good question. We do have some football rivals, but most recently, one of our biggest rivals just moved to a different conference. So that used to be Texas A&M. You ever heard of them?
We had to interview someone from Texas A&M, not this class, but a different class, and they said the exact same thing. They said their biggest rival, they just moved out of the conference, so they were going to be starting some new rivals, but they were pretty angry that your Texas Longhorn was up higher than their Aggie over there on the college board.
That's okay. We still respect them as our Texas brothers.
That's right.
But another one of our big football rivals is Oklahoma, and we always play a big game with them. Have y'all interviewed Oklahoma?
A different class got to interview them, yes, but they were very popular. They sent us a music video to watch, so they were very popular. A lot of Boomer Sooner fans over here now.
Very cool. Yeah, but we're a part of the Big 12, which is a big football conference. But, some of our academic rivals are going to be some schools that are out of state, like the California system schools and Michigan and Wisconsin. So there's some other really big schools that we consider them, again, all of our friends, great places to go to school, but more on our level academically.
Excellent.
Does your school have any traditions?
Does your school have any traditions?
Yes, we have lots of traditions. So our school is very old. We were founded in the 1800s. And so, it's been around for a while. One of the big traditions we had used to be against Texas A&M, the school that I just talked about, that they left our conference. We had a hex rally against them. And before our game against Oklahoma, we had another tradition. It's called the Torchlight. And it's just different fun things that we do to prepare ourselves for these football games. But I think a really neat tradition that we have is one that they do the night before classes start. So all the new students, all the new freshmen who are just starting out, they've never been to college before, they come out to our main mall. We have a huge tower that's right in the middle of campus, and everyone hangs out in front of there, and they get ready to go to school the next day, and it's called Gone to Texas. And it's a really neat way for all of the new students to get really excited about going to school, and they can't wait to start and meet all their new friends. And it's neat because then 4 years later, when they're graduating, they're in that same area where the commencement is taking place. And they said, this is where we started our schooling, and this is where we're also ending our schooling. So that is one of my favorite traditions, I think, for new UT students.
Yeah, I know that whenever I think about the University of Texas, I think that iconic tower that you guys have on your campus is one of the first things that comes to mind.
Definitely.
And I have to show them a picture after we finish the interview. But it's absolutely beautiful. It's red brick, correct? Or orange brick?
It is more of a I don't know exactly what foundation it's made of, but it's a granite type marble block. I don't know, but it's grayish. I can show you pictures. If y'all see this big mural in the background, that's one of our old main buildings that we had. But I'll show you. All right, you can see it being constructed right there.
Okay,
and then the pictures below it are showing you what our old main building used to look like. But it's really tall. It's 307 feet tall.
Huge.
What?
Yes, I know. It's 27 stories tall. So you can go all the way up to the top and look out. We have an observation deck, and you can go up really high, and you can see just for miles and miles around the city of Austin.
Now, do students have the ability to go up there and go up to the top of the observation deck and look out?
They have to take a tour, so it's not open to the public unless you are you're on one of these tours, just for safety reasons. But if you're a student, you can definitely go up there. You can take your parents up whenever they're visiting. But it's a neat way to kind of see your campus from a different perspective, and also to see the whole city of Austin.
Now, can you see the tower from the city of Austin?
Oh, yes. It's one of the most standout buildings around the city. So even from my office, I can see it. Let me see if I can show y'all from the window. We'll see real quick. Okay. So, can you see out there, or is it too bright?
It's coming into focus. Yep, we could see it right here.
Can you see the tower?
Yep.
Awesome. That's one of my favorite things to look at outside my window when I'm looking out of my office, just because it always reminds me this is a big place to learn, and it's a really big reminder of what the University of Texas is all about.
Excellent.
What is your school best known for?
What is Texas best known for?
We're really well known for being a research institute. So what that means is that our students, whether they're undergrads or graduate students, they get to conduct a lot of research. So have you guys ever done a science experiment, or maybe, kind of done some research on your own?
When you guys are writing like you're all about books, where you learn about one topic, you guys have done that kind of stuff before, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so our students are doing something really similar, but they get to choose what they want to study. So one of my students, I think I'll introduce you to her in just a minute. She is a pre-pharmacy student. So that means she's going to go to school to be a pharmacist. And right now she's conducting research to see how much calcium you can take out of broccoli.
Oh,
broccoli
cool.
is delicious, right? Yeah. So she gets to do that kind of research. But we have all different kinds of research, whether you want to be a scientist, an engineer. We have students doing architecture research, communication studies research. So that's what we're really well known for, is letting our undergraduates participate in research just as much as our graduate students.
Cool. Go ahead. Why do people choose to attend your school? Why do people choose to attend UT?
A lot of students have different reasons for why they want to attend the University of Texas at Austin. One of the reasons that they choose is because they want to come to a really big school. There's 50,000 students here. There's all different kinds of people here. The reason why I wanted to attend is because they had the #1 Spanish program in the nation, and I actually studied Spanish, but everyone has their own reason. I actually have a student here who just walked up, and maybe she can tell you her reason why she chose to attend the University of Texas at Austin.
All right.
This is Allie.
Hi.
Do her wave.
She's a current student here at UT Austin. Allie, why did you choose to attend UT?
Oh, wow, for various reasons. But one of my main reasons is that we actually have a university with about 50,000 students. It's huge. And so with 50,000 students, you get to meet people from all walks of life. Gentlemen, I have best friends from Colombia, from Venezuela, from California, from New Jersey. Have any of you guys ever been to any of those places? You're in New Jersey right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of my best girlfriends is from New Jersey. I have yet to visit, but when I do, I'm going to pay you guys a visit. But the university fosters that sort of diversity on campus, so it's great because you get to meet people from all different walks of life and different ethnicities and religions. So you get to meet people that you otherwise would have never met. You can go to the university.
Cool. I think that's something too. Although it might seem a little scary, as I was saying to Christina, our school is only about 350 students. Our graduating class every year is only about between 80 and 100 students, depending on the class. So it's incredibly small. So I think sometimes they get a little nervous when they hear about those gigantic numbers. But I said, chances are when you go to those schools, you're going to make your core group of friends, and that's who you're going to be, hanging out with and spending the majority of your time. You have the option to see all those people and then participate in events with them, but chances are you'll still have your core group of friends that you'll spend the majority of your time with.
Right. Can I ask you guys a question, gentlemen? How many of you guys are scared of going to a big university?
How many of you would be scared to go to with 50,000 students? Any of you? No?
Oh,
Anthony, I'd be a little nervous too. Would you think so?
I think everyone's a little bit nervous whenever they get started to go here, but you meet so many people, you really break out of your shell, and the easiest thing to do is that when you're in one of those really big classes, just turn to the person next to you, introduce yourself, ask them where they're from. Chances are maybe they'll be an out-of-state student too. Maybe they'll, have something in common with you, and it comes to, what sport you like to play or what music you like to listen to. There's always a way to get to know someone a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times too, that even though you might be a little nervous, chances are the person next to you will be nervous too.
Definitely.
Right.
Go ahead, Anthony. Your next one. How big is? So with 50,000 students, how big is your campus?
That's a really good question. We actually run on 350 plus acres of land.
Can you guys tell me how big an acre is?
You guys know? How big? Football field. One football field, right?
Exactly. So can you imagine putting 350 football fields next to each other? That's how big our campus is.
It's probably close to the size of our town.
You get a really good workout walking around everywhere.
I bet. That's a good question for the next one then, Anthony. What's the next question you have? How what? How do most people get around that big campus?
Allie?
Yeah, so I typically like to take the buses. We have two forms of transportation here on campus that are available to students and anyone that's visiting the university. One is our own UT shuttle buses. So like the gentleman's shirt with the Texas on it, with the burnt orange and the white, those are actually the colors of our buses that we get to ride around, and those are free. If not, students like to take their bikes or they like to walk. So my freshman year here, I actually would take the bus to different areas of campus, but then I would walk to my classes wherever the bus stop was.
Excellent. Now, I know you guys bike friendly?
We're very bike friendly, yeah. When I was a student, I would ride my bike more than I would walk anywhere. So I would get really fit riding all around Austin, riding my bike. You don't really need to have a car here because the campus, it becomes a lot smaller when you get here. And the city of Austin, it's really easy to get around, whether you're walking, taking the bus, like Allie said, or riding your bike. I even see some kids on rollerblades, scooters, and skateboards, too.
Longboards, yeah.
Cool. Now, I know, believe it or not, there's actually some schools that we've talked to who have told us that they're actually not a bike-friendly campus, that bikes are actually prohibited on campus, which I had never heard of before. But believe it or not, there are some schools out there where they don't want you riding your bike around because it's a pedestrian only.
I ride a scooter.
Right. Go ahead, Anthony. Last one on your list. So what are your most popular majors? What do most people study when they come to the University of Texas?
I I think business is one of our most popular majors. And so we have a lot of different majors within the School of Business. So when we talk about different colleges and schools, UT is a big university that has lots of smaller colleges and schools within it. So if you wanted to study business, engineering, communications, these are three of our most popular majors or schools to study at. And then you get to choose. Let's say you want to do engineering, but you want to do aerospace engineering. That's the specific major you would take. So we've had 9 different people from UT who are graduates be NASA astronauts. That's pretty exciting, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to think about all the different alumni that would go to a place, and so many come from UT. Same thing with our College of Communication. We have students who want to study radio, television, and film. So that means that they're making movies, they're working at different public radio stations, they might be broadcasting on TV. But some really famous filmmakers have gone to UT Austin, and people are always graduating with really impressive degrees and going on to do fantastic stuff. So I would say definitely business, engineering, and communications are 3 of our best known and most competitive colleges and schools.
Excellent. Davion, go ahead.
What is the cost of your school?
So that's the big question. What is the cost to attend the University of Texas?
Yes. It's an important question and something you should ask about every school that you're interested in studying at. We are a public university, so that means that we get funding from the state of Texas in order to help pay for all of our costs. So because we're a public university, students that are from Texas and live in Texas, they get cheaper tuition than students who are from out of state. So that might be bad news for you coming from New Jersey, but if you wanted to move to Texas and become a Texas resident, it would become cheaper. Students can expect to pay about $8,000 to $8,500 in tuition each year. I see your eyes getting really big, and I know that does sound like a big number, but when you're thinking about tuition for a whole year for college, it's a pretty good deal for our Texas residents.
That's very inexpensive.
If you were coming from New Jersey, though, you would think about paying about $22,000 to $24,000. That's when your eyes get really big.
Now, does that include your housing as well?
No. Housing is going to be about $8,500 to $10,000, depending on whether you want to live with a roommate or if you want to have a private room. And if you want to do a community bathroom or do a private bathroom. So there's different choices you can do, but that does include, when you pay $8,500 for your housing, that does include your meals. So someone's cooking for you, get all your meals taken care of, and that includes all the fees like electricity, internet, and all that good stuff that you have to pay for when you live on campus.
Now, do you guarantee housing for out-of-state residents?
There's no technical guarantee for out-of-state residents because we don't require our students to live on campus, but I have never encountered an out-of-state student who had a problem getting housing. The best way to make sure that you're getting to live on campus is to submit your housing application as soon as you apply for enrollment. So if you do that, you're all set. You don't really have to worry about housing. And I don't think we've really ever turned away a freshman who wants to live on campus if they get their application in with enough time.
Good. Davion.
Do you offer scholarships?
Does your school offer scholarships?
Yes. We offer lots of scholarships. What kind of scholarships do you guys know about?
For getting good what? Good. Good grades, yeah, and high marks on your test scores. Those are the ones that we've talked about, those merit-based scholarships.
Yes. And that is the type of scholarship that we really promote to our students. They're called academic or merit-based scholarships. And it's important that you think about those are the most important kind of scholarships to get. I know a lot of students are familiar with athletic scholarships, but you really want to focus on getting an academic or a merit-based scholarship. UT offers millions of dollars in scholarships each year. Millions of dollars, a lot of money that we give to our students. We also offer financial aid. So you could get a grant, which is free money that you don't have to pay back. You could get a work-study job, and that means that you work on campus, and all the money that you're earning is paying for your tuition. Or you could get a scholarship. And sometimes our students are offered scholarships that pay for everything. So it pays for their tuition, their housing, their books. It pays for their study abroad. You want to know what studying abroad is?
You guys know what that means? No, that's when you get to actually go to another country and take classes that will count towards your degree when you graduate from the University of Texas.
That's right. When I was a student, I got to go to Spain and live in that country over the summer.
Yeah.
And I lived with a Spanish house family, and they cooked for me, and they helped me practice my Spanish. So it was a really neat way to kind of take my education on a global level. But there's also scholarships that we offer for studying abroad, too.
Good. Go ahead, Divya.
Do you have any
Alumni. Yep. Do you have any famous graduates? I know you said a couple NASA astronauts, correct?
That's right. We have a handful of famous graduates. I'm trying to think of someone that y'all might be familiar with. Any ideas, Ellen?
Do you guys know who Matthew McConaughey is?
The actor? No?
No. How about, are you guys football fans? Yeah, how many of you guys are football fans? Okay, cool. How many of you guys know who Vince Young is?
Vince Young played for the Titans many years.
Or Aaron Ross plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep. I know all these names.
Know these names.
Robert Rodriguez. Yeah, we have a lot of actors and actresses that went to UT. We have a lot of politicians that came here. I don't know if you're familiar with, well, some people that worked here. Barbara Jordan, who was a congresswoman from the South. She's from Houston, but she taught here and was actually a UT graduate. Like I said, we did have some astronauts. We had some filmmakers, Wes Anderson, who might be a little beyond your time yet. But, lots of really neat and famous people came to school here, and we're continuing to get more students and more graduates that go on to do fantastic work after they graduate.
Have you guys ever heard of Six Flags?
Six Flags, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We have
Well,
one really close to us.
founder is actually graduating from UT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, roller coasters, pretty exciting.
Nice. Go ahead, Devion.
what do you like
So what do both of you like best about attending and having attended the University of Texas at Austin?
Yeah, I'll let Allie answer that question first.
Now, where do I start, guys? There's so many things that are at the top of my list. I think the best part about UT is working with different individuals that provide opportunities to expand in your future career. I think is the best part, because you have professors that are well-renowned. They do so much research and they know so many people. For example, how many of you guys know who the San Antonio Spurs are?
The basketball team? The Spurs?
San Antonio Spurs.
Devion,
Spurs. Do you guys know who AT&T is?
the company with your
The
phone?
phone service, AT&T.
Yep.
Let me give you guys an example. One of my professors, one of my favorite professors, his name is Jeff Hunt, and it was a campaigns course that I took for one of my upper division classes. And a lot of the people that he would bring in as guest speakers to meet with us were higher ups. They were founders of different companies. So we actually got to meet an AT&T who was actually an executive for AT&T, and we got to meet with him and chat with him a little bit about his company and what sort of advertising and PR and marketing efforts they do. The marketing director of the San Antonio Spurs came to speak to us. We actually had an executive for Gatorade. You guys know what Gatorade is? The brand?
about?
Yeah, we actually the founder, one of the executives for that, which is really cool. So you have an opportunity to meet all of these individuals and to chat with them in hopes of, potentially utilizing them when you guys are getting ready to make your move into the real world and start working in jobs and stuff.
So it sounds like the University of Texas not only kind of gets you ready for those jobs by teaching you in the classroom, they actually kind of bring in people who are already successful in those fields and let you kind of gain knowledge from those people who have already gone to school, not just your professors there.
Right. Oh, Nike too, guys. We got to meet one of the higher ups in Nike.
Cool.
It's just like you guys are meeting with us right now and kind of getting the opportunity to have an inside look at what going to college is like. A lot of our different colleges and schools will give their students that same opportunity, just like Allie said. And she and I have the same major, so we both had a lot of really great experience seeing, an inside look at what it's like to work in communications, what it's like to work in the corporate sector or public relations. One of my favorite things about having gone to UT Austin is not only that, like definitely having those experiences inside the classroom, but also giving you the experience to put that to work when you go to these internships. Allie's been involved with a lot of internships, working with different people. But an internship basically means you have this job before you graduate where you're learning how to do the job to see if you like it and to see if you're good at it. And it'll really help you get a job once you graduate. So that's a pretty neat thing about UT is that they give so many different opportunities to their students to grow and to keep practicing at their jobs.
That's something too. I know when I was doing my teaching, they give you the opportunity to do a student teaching experience where you go into a classroom, and I know you guys have had some student teachers along your career here, where you have a student who's learning how to be a teacher come in and work with teachers who have been here for a long time to help them understand, you can learn all these things in the classroom, but to apply it once you're really in a situation is something totally different.
Exactly right.
Now, do you guys have any other questions? Maybe about the housing. I know some of you were asking about the housing or the food that they offer down there. No? Go ahead, Elijah.
Is it always hot there?
Is it always hot in Texas?
I was hoping it would be a little bit warmer than it was this morning. It was 39 degrees today, and I know that's not very much for y'all. It's snowing in New Jersey right now.
Oh my God.
But it gets pretty hot over the summer, and the nice thing is that the winter is not so bad. So do you guys love snow, or do you just like
Would you
cold?
rather it be hot or cold? Hot. Yeah, I think a lot of them wouldn't mind coming down to Texas.
Me
Just
too.
come down to
I feel
Austin.
the same way. So it doesn't get too bad. And in the summer, it gets pretty hot, but we just go swimming all the time. Lots of swimming down here.
Excellent. You guys have any?
And eating snow cones.
Any other questions? Now, I have a question for you. Now, you taught us how to hook 'em before, right? So everybody put up your hook 'ems there, right? Now, is there a chant or a cheer? You got to put your thumb on there. There you go.
We like to say Texas fight. So let's practice this. Me and Allie are going to say Texas. And when we say that, you guys will say fight.
All right, you ready?
All right, Texas.
Fight!
Yeah, you got it. Let's do it again.
Ready?
Texas.
Fight!
Yeah, y'all are good at it.
All right.
But all
So-
of our football is a lot of fun. Now y'all can practice. One half does Texas, the other half does fight.
All right.
Ready?
You guys say Texas, and you guys are going to say fight, okay? Ready?
Texas! Fight!
There you go.
Ah, so good. You guys are really good at that.
Now, do you guys say hook 'em to each other? Is that like a saying that you would say to each other, like fellow alumni from the University of Texas?
Yes. We just say hook 'em all the time.
All
Whenever
right.
we're happy and something good's happening or we're at the football game, we're just like, hook 'em.
All right, so that's something we're going to have to start using in the hallways here. Does that sound good?
And look, we'll teach you a really secret Longhorn handshake.
Uh-oh, you ready?
If you put up your horns and then you turn them like this, you can shake. You can shake
Okay, try.
horns. There you go.
Here you go, look.
Ready, guys? Here, we'll show it to you again. Ready?
There you go, like that. See? You can go like that. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right.
Secret. Don't tell everybody.
Okay, that's a secret one, though.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we say to these guys, to Christina, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Allie?
Christina and Allie for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you!
Welcome. Thank you for talking to us. You're so pleasant to talk to, and you seem like you're learning a lot of great info.
Yeah, see, we were going to give you guys a little preview here. Hold on. We're going to show you over here what you're missing out in New Jersey over here.
Nice.
Let's see if you can see it.
Oh my gosh. So snowy. I think I would be crying.
You're missing out on that lovely snow there.
Can I get a screenshot of the kids all holding the
Yep,
their Texas signs?
Yep, everybody put up your signs.
All right.
Put up your hook'ems. Go ahead.
Yes.
There you go,
This
guys.
is so good.
Is that it?
Yes, perfect.
And what do you guys have to say? Hook 'em, right?
Hook 'em!
Yeah, woo! All right. Well, good luck with the rest of your interviews, and thank you for spending some time with us today.